Today, we have the pleasure of talking with Jayne Havens of the Center for Pediatric Sleep Management. She is truly a leader in the sleep consulting industry, and I'm so excited that she agreed to talk with us today. I fell in love with her method the minute I learned that she consults with clients online because at the Pay-at-Home Parent, I'm all about finding ways to make money from home. So Jayne, thank you for joining us. Would you tell us a little about yourself and about how you got started?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today. To give you a brief background, again, my name is Jayne Havens. I'm the owner and founder of Center for Pediatric Sleep Management. I got started in the field of sleep consulting. Let's take it back to when my son was born about 10 years ago. He was out of the gate a really great little sleeper. And then at 4 months, he hit that classic sleep regression that many parents experience. And he went from essentially sleeping through the night to waking up every single hour. And as a brand new parent, I had no idea what was going on. Why is this happening? How do I fix it? And I'm an information gatherer. I love to research. So I poured through the books, read all the blogs, figured out how to get my son sleeping. We implemented some sleep training. And within 3 nights, he was sleeping through the night again. It was really beautiful. And it was really empowering. And all of my friends were super jealous. So they were coming to me, asking me, could I help them get their kids asleep? And so that's how it all started. Is I started helping friends, and then it was friends of friends were reaching out to me. Did that as sort of a hobby for about 4 years and decided eventually to turn my hobby into a business. It happened around the time when my daughter was born. She was less enjoyable as a newborn than my son was. And I was really looking for an outlet. I was looking for something to do from home. I really didn't want to put my kids in daycare or leave them with a nanny. It was just a personal decision. I had gotten really used to being their primary caregiver and didn't want to change that. So I decided to go online, take a sleep consultant certification course, and get certified. And what was intended to be just a side hustle or a passion project while taking care of my 2 kids very quickly morphed into a very lucrative and also rewarding career from home. Not too long after becoming a certified sleep consultant, I actually decided to create my own certification course. And it may have seemed premature at the time, but the reason I did is because I felt like there was something missing from other programs on the market, and I set out to do it better. And I really think that I did. At CPSM, we place a really heavy emphasis on business building and entrepreneurship. So we're not just teaching you how to sleep train a baby, we're teaching you how to launch, grow, and scale a really successful sleep consulting business.
Wow. So not only did you start by training your kids, but then you became a consultant and then you decided to start training consultants. That's amazing. So what would be the earning potential of a sleep consultant?
There's really such a wide range of normal. Some people decide to become sleep consultants and they don't even ever support families one-on-one. Actually, a lot of women come into my program and they're nannies, postpartum doulas, newborn care specialists, and they take the training just so that they can be better at their own jobs. And then therefore they feel empowered to increase their hourly rates in their existing jobs. So it's hard to calculate what the income is from sleep consulting because it really just allows them to make more money in their day jobs or their overnight positions. Others are stay-at-home moms who are dabbling in this, doing it a little bit on the side while taking care of their young kids. Some of them make 500, $1,000 a month, and some of them are making $15,000 to $18,000 a month. There's a really wide range of normal. I think that just like anything else that you do, especially from home, when you're launching your own business, you get out what you put in, and the sky's the limit. When I started my business, when my kids were little, I was intending to have a little side hustle. If I had made an extra $1,000 a month, I would be thrilled. And I look back on that and it's hilarious to me because now I have a wildly successful career doing this full time.
So it definitely sounds like it's something that you can do with little kids. And how did you juggle raising your kids, but still giving your business the focus?
I happen to be a pretty good multitasker. I'll give myself that. I'm highly productive. So when I'm with my kids, I'm really trying to be present and be with my kids. And then in those gaps, I'm really being present in my business. I will be honest that in the beginning, when I was first really prioritizing getting the business off the ground, I definitely felt a little bit spread thin. I was trying to navigate how to be really present with my kids and grow a business at the same time. And for anybody to say that that's no big deal, easy peasy, I think is sugarcoating it a little bit. I did feel like I was being pulled in two different directions. What I will say is that my children, through all of this, have been so proud of me. And I love the example that I set for them as a working mother. And I, especially for my daughter, showing her that I can be creative and get out there and do interesting things and contribute financially to our family. And my kids are learning so much from me. And as they get older, they listen to my phone calls, they hear me talk about my business, and they're just gaining so much from the experience. So even in moments when I felt like, oh, am I not giving them my undivided attention? I still feel like I'm setting a really good example for my children.
I love that. And I feel that too, because I think it's so apparent in all types of businesses when you're getting started working online as a mom. So that's amazing that you were able to juggle that. And I think that there's so much hope for other mothers out there. And who do you think would be a good fit for this type of work?
I think when it comes to who's a good fit for this field, I would say first and foremost, somebody that does already have a strong passion for healthy and independent sleep hygiene for children. If you're listening to this video and your three kids are in your bed and they don't sleep at night and you can't figure out how to manage bedtime and sleep is just all over the place in your house, then unless you want to come to our program to learn for your own family and then feel empowered to help others, which I will say many do, unless that's you, then it's probably not you. If you love the chaotic nature of not having routine and order around sleep, then this probably isn't for you. That being said, if you're the type of parent who had your baby on a schedule and had them sleeping through the night at an early age, or maybe you didn't even have such success, but you were so interested in it and worked on it and maybe wished that you had the tools to do that in your own home and you just didn't have anybody supporting you, then I do think that this would be perhaps a good fit. What I will say is that like entrepreneurship isn't for everybody either. I think that there's this idea that anybody can build a business online and anybody can be successful. And I do think to some degree that's true, but you have to have it in you that you're willing to be a self-starter and be motivated and not be bogged down by the little molehills that come along when you're trying to grow a business, because we don't have a boss, we don't have anybody telling us what to do. Inside of our Center for Pediatric Sleep Management community, we do have a lot of support, we have camaraderie, and we are cheering each other on. But ultimately, it's your job to get out there and build your own business. And if you're listening to this and that's giving you butterflies in your stomach, I think that's a good sign. I think butterflies are good. And I think that when you take that nervous feeling and you channel it into something great, really big things can happen. Some people get paralyzed by those nervous feelings. I personally take those nervous butterflies and see what kind of growth I can experience.
So let's flip it around a little bit and tell me who hires you? What kind of people are asking for your services?
So there are tired parents everywhere. Okay. One question that I get asked all the time is, do people really hire sleep consultants? And the answer to that is yes. I have a full-time job supporting families through the process of establishing healthy and independent sleep hygiene for their children. Of course, not everybody hires a sleep consultant. Some people just go 5 years and never sleep. Some people will ask a friend for help. Some people will buy an online course or a book. And then some people hire sleep consultants. And I equate it to weight loss. There are books that you can buy on weight loss. There are courses you can buy. There are online programs, or you could see a nutritionist or a trainer at the gym. And I see the position of a sleep consultant as being the trainer at the gym. We're the one that provides a really thoughtful, well-written plan for your family. And then we hold you accountable and support you through the process of making meaningful changes so that your child or children can sleep better. So not everybody hires sleep consultants, but a lot of people do. And the field is really growing. If you think about when you first have a brand new baby, everybody knows what a lactation consultant is. Almost everybody who's trying to breastfeed will reach out to a lactation consultant at some point. When it comes to sleep consulting, most new parents have never even heard of a sleep consultant. If you think about a brand new mother who just had a baby, who's up at all hours of the night with her infant, she doesn't even know that sleep consultants exist usually. So that means, in my eyes, there's a ton of opportunity for growth. And this is really just the beginning. I would love to get the field to a place where every family has a lactation consultant, a sleep consultant, and whatever other support that they need, because we as parents should not have to navigate these challenging situations alone.
People learn so differently just by reading or pulling up a blog and quickly going through. Can I find this stuff online if I
Yeah.
want to go out and do it myself for free?
You absolutely can. The information that sleep consultants provide is not like magic sauce. It's not something that cannot be found on the internet. What I will say is that the internet has so much information that for a lot of parents, especially when they are exhausted, they don't know what's good information, what's bad information, what should they follow, what should they ignore. And it's really overwhelming to a lot of families. So while the information is out there, a sleep consultant will help to create a plan that's specific for your family and for your child. So I think that's number one. And then number two is that the information isn't always enough for every family. Most of the people who hire me, they know what they need to do. To some degree, they know that they need to set what I call a loving limit or a meaningful boundary around sleep. If you think about a 3-year-old who won't stay in bed, that's limit setting. And parents know that they need to establish some firmer boundaries around bedtime if that's what they're struggling with. The problem is, it's really hard to do that without accountability and support. So sometimes hiring a sleep consultant really puts parents in the mindset of like, okay, I invested in this program. That means I need to take it seriously. I need to make a change. And I'm going to listen to this person who I just paid some money to. And I'm going to do what they say. And I'm going to let them hold me accountable so that we can actually make progress.
Hmm. I love that. So, what would you say set CPSM, your training course, ahead of other courses out there?
It's a few things. I touched on the first, which is the business building and entrepreneurship piece. Let me come back to that. The whole reason for why I created CPSM in the first place is because I really felt that sleep consultants needed a higher level of community and support. When I was becoming a sleep consultant myself, I personally felt like I didn't have anybody holding my hand as I walked into this entrepreneurial space for the first time. I wanted a community, not just people to ask questions to, but people that I could call my colleagues or my friends. So I set out to create a program that was more than just an online training, but truly had the community vibe, if that makes sense. That was my first goal. And then I very quickly realized that most aspiring sleep consultants got into this line of work because they were passionate about establishing healthy sleep habits for children. They really wanted to support moms and dads, but they had no experience with growing a business. And that seemed to be everybody's biggest roadblock. That was everybody's biggest fear. How do I find clients? How do I market myself? How do I get onto a call and talk to a family in a way that makes them feel like, yeah, I want what she has? And that came easily to me. I come from a line of entrepreneurs. My father is an entrepreneur, my brother is. So to some degree, that came a little bit easier to me, but I recognize that that was the biggest hurdle for most. So we are addressing that head on inside of CPSM, and we are literally teaching sales, marketing, business growth strategy, and mindset work all inside of the program. So my hope is that if you enroll in CPSM, you don't have to go out and pay thousands of dollars to a business coach to teach you how to grow your business. We're teaching that inside of the program.
How can we go forward with your course?
For those watching this interview, I would love for you to enroll. There should be a link that you can click on if you decide that you'd either like more information or you'd like to get started. If you decide that you'd like to enroll, you can use the code PayAtHomeParent250 for $250 off the price of the program. That code will work on all of our payment plan options except for the 12-month option. We have lots of different payment plans that you can either pay in full or over the course of 2, 4, 6, 8, or 12 months. The code will work on all of the options except for the 12-month plan. And I'd love to have you get started.
Yay, this is so exciting, Jayne. Thank you so much for putting in this time to tell my audience about yourself and about what you do. Again, this was about becoming a sleep consultant, and Jayne does it virtually. I love that so much, and it is so fitting for what people are looking for in my industry. So thank you very much, Jayne.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.